In the past, there were a few things that we could all agree on. The sky is blue, socialism doesn't work, and Die Hard is the greatest movie ever made. However, the left in recent years has abandoned objective truth for subjective, narcissistic, selfish screeching of, I feel, so I should get. And nothing I've seen shows this more clearly than the reviews for Death Wish starring Bruce Willis. A movie so manly, so in line with actual conflict, so action-packed, so perfect in its toxic masculinity that it literally combines AC/DC, Milton Friedman, home defense with assault rifles, and condemns Chicago for not being able to protect its citizens. Oh my god, I can just see every leftist just cringing watching this movie. I'm Ben Davies, this is Pure Hollywood. Death Wish was directed by Eli Roth, was made for about $30 million and opened up with $13 million plus, which is great for the first opening weekend. And this was a remake to the 1974 cult classic. Let's compare some reviews from the 1974 movie where there used to be some semblance of diversity in criticism. The reviews were 65% by critics and 68% by the public, which is about in agreement. And now it is a shocking 15% of critics liked the movie and 85% of viewers enjoyed it. Let's see why. As a movie, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. This film has everything you would want as a moviegoer if you're right of Bernie Sanders. Without going into too much detail, you follow Bruce Willis as he goes on a complete journey of being a very passive and respectful person to being heartbroken and going after the people that ruined his life. This happens because a law-abiding citizen has his life ripped apart when a home invasion gone wrong takes the life of his wife and puts his daughter in a coma. Now here's what separates this movie from other revenge flicks. In other revenge flicks, the whole world, the whole movie setup is just geared around one person. And if the whole world is one person, whatever you're experiencing is it. It's absolute. But this movie takes a step back and lets society ask questions of, is this justified? Is it right for you to go out of your way to take down killers, drug dealers, and rapists? And in doing so, it allows the audience to not just be a spectator, but to also be involved in the movie. It's pretty fun. My critic review is a 4 out of 5. What I love most about this movie as a critic as far as production is it inserts you directly into the time right now. One of the opening sequences of the movie shows Chicago, as you know, one of the most crime-ridden cities in the entire United States that has also been a Democratic leftist hellhole for a long time with some of the harshest gun regulations in the entire country. And you see police officers so in over their head that some die in the opening scene, and you have different commentators, like actual commentators in the news that have talked about, oh my gosh, it's rampant here, like 40 people killed in one weekend, all these shots, and just start talking about how bad it is and how nothing has helped so far. And you can see all the leftists start to cringe as all their policies are being called out, and you can clearly see on the screen the result of them. And I'm sure it's shocking for them to come to the realization that bad people will do bad things and the police can't always help you. Shocker. And one of the most impressive parts of this movie, directing and writing wise, is you get to see these snapshots and these different scenes of how someone's world, when they're flipped upside down, this would be the natural response when you realize that self-preservation is your only way to protect your family and you from these outside horrific forces. And in one of my favorite scenes, which would just drive people crazy, our hero literally goes to Texas to go get some advice from an older man, his wife's father who's there. And he pulls over on the side of the road and starts shooting at these poachers that are poaching his fields and killing this animal. And he's really firing off at these guys that are running away. And then he gives this great kind of speech and talk and wisdom about how a man, it's your job as the head of the household to protect your family. And if you can't do that, then you failed. Now our hero goes home and decides, I don't need a gun, because he sees some goofy commercial with some blonde bimbo talking about how you need an assault rifle to protect your home. He thinks that's stupid. Who then on his way home sees a woman being attacked by 2 gangbangers. And apparently her lessons at the YMCA taking Krav Maga weren't enough to hold these guys off, which of course in real life would obviously not work either. However, he steps in and takes an unbelievable beating because obviously there's nothing he could do either because he has no way to protect himself. However, then this meticulous surgeon does buy a gun to defend himself and others and inflicts righteous judgment on those who deserve it. And it also has one of the best shooting death scenes I've ever seen. When you see the ice cream man scene, it is awesome. It's absolutely awesome to watch. However, these actions do leave him depressed and unable to sleep. This also sparks a controversy of, is this the right thing to do? Is this man worse than the people that he's killing, or is this righteous judgment, as it starts this massive debate? And this sparks up because this is done outside the realm of self-defense and self-preservation, which is your God-given right and protected by the U.S. Constitution. for now. My faith and values is a 3 out of 5. Now, there are no overt Christian messages in this movie. In fact, there is a funeral scene where a man questions God's sovereignty in these situations and is there actually a plan. Also, there's multiple scenes with Bruce Willis where he's asked to have faith and let the police do their thing, and he doesn't. However, it is important to note that the Bible does not just call us to sit back in our recliner knowing that the Lord will just take care of whatever we need. In fact, the Bible specifically tells people not to just test the Lord. And James 4:17 says, "So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin." This movie also brilliantly shows the deep desire to protect those who we love and lay down our lives for them. Now, should you take the stance of going around like this guy because you see bad people doing bad things and take them out? Of course not. We are a nation of laws, and we are called to obey the rules and laws and regulations of them. However, we also do have the right to self-preservation given to us by the Second Amendment here in the United States, and have every right to absolutely obliterate any psychopath that enters our home to do us or our loved ones harm. Honestly, this is just a fun, entertaining ride of a movie, and you should definitely go see this before the left bans it, because it's basically a 2-hour stance against everything that the left thinks works. I'm Ben Davies, this is Pure Hollywood. And another fantastic news, you can now download the Rebel app and take me with you wherever you go to get exclusive content in the entire Rebel lineup.